Hey, what's up, guys? This is going to be a steroid update. Officially into my next blast cycle. This is my second one I've done. I did one a few months ago that ended around the beginning of the summer, and I did a bit of a summer cruise, and now I'm back at it, upping the dose significantly of Mastron and NPP. I haven't really upped the dose in testosterone, and it's not that I don't want to. The reason is because I'm running low on the last vial I have. I'm like less than a half a vial. So I ordered more, but just in case, for whatever reason, that doesn't show up, or whatever, like I don't get it, then I don't want to be shit out of luck. So I'm just running like 20% of the milliliter, whatever. I don't even know exactly what I'm running right now. I just do it by milliliters, and I know generally on how many milliliters I'm taking, how good I am. So I up the doses a few milliliters. I don't recommend doing what I'm doing, but it's like I know that it's good based on. I could calculate this all out after, but it's probably I'm running somewhere around 200 to 250 a week of testosterone, around 300 of Mastron, and approaching 200 at least of nandrolone at the time being. Testosterone, I might start pushing 300, and I might push the nandrolone up a little bit as well. We'll see how it goes, but regardless, what I did do was in the last 2 to 3 weeks, titrated the doses up to where my current blast is, which is at the beginning of the month. That's when I started this, so I've done 2 injections of it so far. And in the last 2 weeks, even just by when I'm titrating the doses up, especially of the nandrolone, I believe, but as well all 3, and as well I titrated the dosage up of HGH. Now I'm going to do at least 5 IUs a day, right before bed. I made a video about that yesterday, and great results when you when you have HGH up. You just feel like you got a great quality sleep. You feel way more like replenished. It's an experience you have to feel for yourself. I recommend HGH. Like, don't just be running a lot of gear without HGH. Like, balance it out. I know it's hard on the budget, but it's worth it. I'll put it that way. So I'm happy to introduce more HGH into this next 3-month cycle, which will be good. Again, I have to allocate money towards that, but the key premise here is the testosterone and the Mastron being the 2 primary agents, which are very safe. Like, Mastron is top tier safety level and efficacy steroid to do. Okay, it works. It's not the strongest, but it has great properties, which is it mitigates the estrogenic effects that you get from testosterone, so it keeps that in balance. It's dihydrotestosterone. It comes with some side effects, so people experience hair loss and things. I haven't yet, but I'll keep note of that. But it will mitigate like the potential for gynecomastia to happen, and it also has anabolic effects. Okay, so it's great, and also dryness effect. So that's great to have, I believe, when you're running a blast, because you don't want to bloat the fuck up too much on it, especially when you're running high testosterone, high nandrolone, which are 2 wet compounds. Potential to be anyway. I should mention something about the nandrolone. I think that's the one where, like, now, before I didn't run it as high as that I planned to this time. Like, the last time was like just like my experiment, my foot in the door of the nandrolone. This time it's going to be more pronounced. But if I start experiencing some psychological effects, I'll pull back, and because it's a short ester NPP, then I believe I'll, like, within a few days, if I start acting a bit weird or whatever, it'll be like corrected. Okay. And I don't plan as running much more than 300 of testosterone. Keep that a little bit lower. Before I ran testosterone 400 around on average. So keep that a little lower, but boost the nandrolone. Okay, that's what my goals are this time, as well running the Cialis, and keeping blood pressure in check. If I need be, I might get telmisartan, but the Cialis, if it might do the trick on that. So hopefully that will be great. One thing I have noticed is a bit of increase in acne the last 2 weeks. my shoulders. You can probably see a little bit there. You know, my girlfriend complains about that, but what can I do, right? It's part of the trade-off. I don't think it's part of the estrogenic effects I'm happening. I think it's just the result of doing steroids in general, because it creates more of the sebum, the sweat, like oilier glands. So the glands get clogged up, and that's what creates the acne. So if you guys have any advice what to do on that, I'm just take regular showers and shit like that, right? But you know, it's not a great. That's probably my only complaint on it. I gotta show you this video I made today, which is pretty unreal for me. So it's doing pec flies. You see it? So that's a full stack of 295 pounds. And I did that for 5 reps. And that was after, first of all, started the gym session with doing incline Smith machine. And I was doing 200 pounds for reps, like for at least 2 sets. And then I did the pec fly. I started with around like 180. And then this guy I was sharing the machine with, because I didn't realize he was on. He's like, "Oh, I'm still using that." And he was doing something else, like supersetting or whatever. And I'm like, okay. But he's like, "Oh, just go on. You know, we'll take turns," type of thing. So I started with 180, and he's like, "Wow, that's a lot more than I'm doing." I'm like, "Dude, that's what I'm starting with. I'm going to be increasing the weight to 250 next time." He's like, "What?" I went to 250. I did that 10 times. I know I could have done more, but I'm like 10 times worked it out. Okay, I got it on video too. And he's like, "Wow, that's crazy." And then he goes, does this. I'm like, "Okay, now I'm going to go for PR, full stack, 295, see what I can do." You know, to be honest, I didn't know. And there it was for 5 reps. I believe I could do probably in the next week or two 10 reps of that. If I like didn't do as many, if I still had more gas in the tank, essentially, I didn't like tax my system like so much, like especially my pecs. Maybe I could get a few more in, but I gotta be careful because I don't want to damage myself doing something like that. But it was pretty easy. Like, it wasn't like, and if I could do something 5 reps, I think that's safe. If you start going under that, you know, then it's like, you know, for like a 95% lift or 100% lift, you know, maxing out, then there's a potential for injury. There's always potential for injury, you know, with bad form or like, you know, shit happens. But the fact that I was repping it 5 times and pretty solid, I felt pretty good doing it. So that's great. We'll see by the end of this as I progress. Maybe I'll stick to chest flies throughout this blast cycle. Like, I'll do that every pec day and really focus on that one, and we'll see if I can really improve that, as well as the size, but as well as strength of my pecs. That would be amazing. One thing that's kind of been lacking that I think I really need to focus on, because I don't want to just focus on upper body, but my lower body, I have an issue with my right hip, so I'm not able to do deadlifts. I'm not able to do squats. I can do leg extensions and leg curls. So maybe I'll just do, I don't know, 10 sets each of those every leg day. What do you think? What do you think I should do? Even I think if I did like abduction or adduction type of things, it could affect my hips, so I don't even want to do that. Or leg press, no. Maybe very light leg press, but you know, then I don't know. Maybe I can high rep. But if I did high reps, it might irritate my hip as well. Doing that, like, it's really fucked. So, but leg curls and legs extensions just based on the knee hinge, right? So it's not going to necessarily affect my hip. So if I just blast out my quads that way and blast my hamstrings that way, at least I'm doing something, right? I could probably grow them and grow some strength in them. But just by looking at myself right now, I can tell that, you know, that's something like, you don't want to get the chicken leg effect, right? But a lot of my training that has to do with gym is focusing towards now boxing, and I do boxing like 2 to 3 times a week. So I'll show you a video on that as well, because I'm making a lot of progress in the boxing gym. And here it is. So here's me working this combo bag, okay? So you can see it here. You can see it there. So yeah, I'm working on the hooks for power. This combo bag, I start switching it up a bit. Hooks to the head, hooks to the body. Then I start mixing up jab to 2 hooks to the head, uppercut, and then right hooks to the head. So yeah, I just want to show that. I wasn't planning to this video, but progressing on the boxing, and you can have the volume there, but my boxing's coming along. Like, those are solid punches. I got lots of great compliments when I posted that to my social media. People were impressed, so I'm happy about that. And it's what primarily reason why I'm doing blasts or doing steroids in general is for functional, becoming very athletic at my age. Like, the fact that my slope of my athleticism is like way better than it was before, then I'm happy about that, right? There's going to be a point in time, though, I believe, in the near future where, I don't want to be blasting too hard anymore. Like, it's like I'll catch up, and then but I could still be blasting, but it's like, even at a much lower dose, or just keep a constant cruise at like doing like 150, 200 test and 50 to 100 nandrolone or something like that, a little bit of Masteron, and that would be great. I'm sure you still make gains on that easy, and you maintain your gains that you had. So if you like bulk up to a point, like, this is a good TRT if you're 40 plus advice. If you bulk up to the point where you're like, okay, you don't want to put on more size necessarily, your strength. Like, you're totally happy with the size and strength you have. You look good, right? And you want to maintain that. But as well, you can still make gains. You still do well at the gym, still cut and whatever else. Like, there's still room for like, definition and tone and things. That's fine. But you don't necessarily got to go crazy on like a crazy nandrolone cycle or anything like that at that point. You just sprinkle a little bit of that in there, 50 to 100 a week, or have a test cycle only, would be totally fine, and then maybe add a little bit of Anavar every 3 months. Every 3 months, do 6 weeks on Anavar, or even every 6 months, do 6 weeks of Anavar. Used to make tons of gains on that too. And doing HGH, again, is the key. HGH is way safer than anabolic steroids. There's nothing unsafe about it unless you're doing super crazy doses of it. Right? So if you do like 2 to 4 IUs on a TRT dose, just maintain that for like a year or two, dude, you'll be fucking really good. Really good on that. So that's my advice, as well as the Cialis, especially for older guys, for obvious reasons. But the blood flow, the pump, I believe it contributes a lot to that, as well as just feeling great. I feel great every day. I believe the Cialis, well, everything, but that has a psychological effect, which is amazing. Okay. So, anything else I should mention on? I guess just what my goals are, I guess I'll reiterate, is better boxing, better functional type of, being able to fight better, and the involvement with steroids in that is like obviously increasing my strength, stamina, and abilities, and then in doing bodybuilding, just getting bigger and stronger a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I don't want to get like super big. I don't want to be a bodybuilder, okay? But a little bit, especially strength. I'll be maybe focusing a little bit more on strength than actually hypertrophy, like fucking getting super built. I don't know if you know this, but like, that's pretty dope. I'm seeing veins in my arms right now. I'm not like, crazy bodybuilder big, but I feel like I'm solid right now. Like 215 to 220 pounds. I fluctuate between that. And the fact that I was able to chest fly, full stack, 295 pounds for 5 reps, pretty good for me. That's great progress. So that's the important thing. I'll leave it there, guys. What are your thoughts on this video? Any questions, comments? Leave it in the comment section below. Love to always talk with y'all. Have a great evening. Peace.